live recording podcast of episode 27. You don't know it. We out here. We have this great conversation. Get ready to listen in. GilbertSzn out. You know. Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk a little bit about you. Let's like what is it that you do right now? What like messages you feel like you want to spread?
Yo, just love, like all around. Like the only way you can see someone winning is if you love them, and if you love them, that means the energy is gonna come in return. Like everybody thinks love is so weak. I don't understand why, but I never want to tell anybody. I think love is the one power you have because it's within you that you could use to build other people. So what I want is for us to basically like inspire someone, or like just give someone motivation, or give them hope of saying like, oh man, those guys ain't perfect and they still doing it. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And if you look at the energy that creates, is mad people just winning and winning and winning, and then everybody just lives lives together, being successful. Why does there have to be a negative? Like I never understood. They said negatives has to balance out the positive. They never say you needed the negatives.
That's true too. Ooh, that's a gem right there.
So like, how are like some things that you're doing to do that, like to spread like you were saying, like?
I would say coming on the podcast, to be honest. That's step one. Because before I was like stuck in my ways. Like I wanted to do it. Like I always wanted to do more, but something held me back. Of feeling like, dang, what if these people just laugh at me instead of just understanding where I come from, like out of like truthness. And then I don't know, I just gave that up, and I was like, you know what? Like my true self, I just love people. Like I used to think I hated people, but just the understanding of loving people, I just want to see more people win and win and win.
Question: you think you hated people, or you felt like you hated people in the moment?
I'll say think. Because think and felt is two
so
different
subconsciously
things.
you'd be like, nah, I don't hate people.
Consciously, I was feeling.
Right.
But subconsciously, the real me didn't need it. Like I knew I could block it out.
And
like I knew there was someone stronger inside of me that could block all that shit. Oh, excuse my language.
Nah, it's cool, bro. It's cool. Why do you think you hated people?
Just because the energies, bro. The energies you see, bro. Like growing up, they say don't trust people. They say, keep your distance. They don't teach you what a real relationship is. Like I grew up with a single mom. Like, people just promote that and they think that's real life, bro. But it's not, because that's all they see around. But they never take the courage to take a step out. Like, think about it. What if you never take a step out to go out to Buffalo?
Oh, I'll be so different right now. At 23? Hell yeah.
And now, what if you did that and then you didn't make the decision to do the podcast? Like I say,
facts. I still would have been different right now. Facts. At 23, 100%.
So why does the past you have to stay there? Why do you got to be there? So that's what I'm trying to elaborate to people. Like, you don't got to stay where you're at. You can literally step out and not have to worry about people. So I feel like that person is inside me now, and it's starting to come out.
That's deep.
If it makes sense. Like,
I get it.
Because I was like, yo, should we go like soft on these people? Like, just baby it to them. And now I'm just like, yo, F that, bro. Like, y'all gonna eat no matter what. It's like when you was a kid, your mother forced you to eat. Like, I was forced to eat without drinking, bro. I used to hate that.
Yo.
So I was mad thirsty, right?
They be telling me that shit in my crib. I hate that shit, bro.
Bro.
Like, how the fuck I'm gonna eat with no fucking breath, bro? What the fuck?
Bro.
I never said I have to drink after, like, right? Like,
yeah, bro. And then they tell you water, my nigga. Like, you should drink water, bro. I'm promoting water, by the way. But, sometimes you want a little juice, a little something, bro. Once in a while.
That's what the phrase, I think that's what the phrase,
But
yo,
damn,
he got no bed. I think
Yeah.
that's that phrase
That's
called.
crazy. Yo, in high school, I used to catch that. You'd be like, yo, no bad.
Yo, she ain't got no
Like, it was
bad.
always on me.
Nah, but you see how bad it was like that when the how it turned you out to be. You don't even know it helped you become a clean eater.
Yeah. Do you feel like having rough, like temporary, of course, rough life experiences helped you make the right decisions to your like definition morally,
Facts.
or do you feel like you
Yes.
also could have went the other way, depending on your decisions at that moment?
No, that's yes. You wanna answer it first, bro?
I feel like, for me, like, it's just like depending on like where you are in your life, like those decisions. Like if you think about it, like when I was younger, like all the decisions I was making, I was like, yo, I didn't even know like other ways. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like now when you get wiser, like those decisions kind of matter more. I guess they hold more weight.
it's crazy though because I feel like at a young age we all maybe have experienced a person from every walk of life in a sense. Like some people that are staying in the street, some people that are successful,
Right.
some people that are professional, regular people that are just family people, etc. Like from different walks of life. So how do you, I guess, do you base the way you affiliate in a sense of like, oh, this is what I am, or this is what I want to do, based on others or your own decisions? How do you see that?
I guess like it could go like I guess in the beginning for me like I thought like when I was trying to go to college I think that was like one of the first times I was like thinking about making all these decisions and how much they matter like in a way like even though like high school you go through all this stuff but like when I was in college like I was like alright I want to be this to make money like I never like my parents were always like yo push this like oh like whatever job you do you have to be like make the most to get us out of like the situation that you're in like you're like doctor lawyer all that stuff. Like while I was in college, I switched my major like 2-3 times, maybe over four times. Like
That's beast.
I was like to computer science because I was like I like computers and stuff, and I always kept going back to like I want to do something with sports, right?
They
so,
always
like,
going back to that.
Yeah, always. So like it sucks though because like I was always like that mentality like I have to make money and stuff like that. But to me like I stepped out of that because I was like yo what do I want to do? Like what am I? Not like what makes me happy, but what am I good at? What are my strengths? Whatever, so I can like go into that field. So that's when I feel like those decisions, like, okay, that means that if I continued on the path of being a computer science, I could have been in a different place than I'm at now. I could have had a different job. I could have been living differently. But because I decided to step back, like, I took more time myself. I'm still, like, not finished with school just because, like, I switched my major mad times. But, like, at the same time, like, I went into communications, and I was like, yo, I enjoy, like speaking with people, like, and all these interactions that you have. And it's just like you learn different ways of communicating with business or like with like persuasion and all that stuff, like all different classes. It was dope and I enjoyed it. So I was just like, yo, I don't know what I could be with communications, but like this is my own path because I want to do this, not because of what other people want me to do and want me to continue making money out of. Like I feel like I can still make money in any field like if I'm doing communications. Like, it's just what you make out of yourself when you get out of there. I feel.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about the fact that you accepted who you are?
That's dope. I've definitely like enjoyed myself more, but like there's definitely came like rough times with it. Just because like for me like that whole trying to figure out who you are phase is mad tough because like bro like I'm not like afraid to say it, but I went through like some sort of like kind of like a little bit of a depression, like trying to figure out like I had no job, I wasn't in school, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Right. So it's just like that whole time like it's tough, but like when you get out of it, like at the same time like it's the journey of you getting to be who you are. So it's just like now that I'm out of that like kind of state, I'm more happier in my position that I'm in now. Like yo, I'm doing like things that I wanted to do. Like bro, we're here doing this podcast. Like that's dope. Like that's us like connecting and actually getting that shit done. And it's just like yo, me and you, like bro, you talking about your own experiences and it's dope. And it's just like you relate so much with people and it's just like you could have gone a different path. We could have never met each other today and shit.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%.
You never know who you relate to, bro. Out in the world, you never know.
And I feel like it takes the initiative of you just being open-minded, open to different, open to acceptance, even if you don't agree with it, which is fine. But understand it. Try to understand it. Try to like accept it for what it is, even if you don't agree with it or whatever.
So what do you think causes people to be closed-minded?
Entitlement. Arrogance.
What do you think causes that though? Like, what do you think causes the start of the hate?
Sometimes it's just like the way people are brought up. Like,
parenting, bro. Parenting matters OD. That shit.
That's fact.
Like, as much as we are different from our parents, we're also so much alike to them too, in different ways that we don't see it until we start getting older. We get more wisdom and wisdom and wisdom. We always evolve. Like, us at our age right now, imagine us at 35. It's gonna be completely different, bro. Yeah. The way we think, all that shit. So
they say we're all more alike than we are different.
We're all more alike than we are different.
Everybody keeps saying, yeah, we're not the same person. All right, that's obvious. But we're more alike than we are different. That runs deep, bro. That runs deep, bro.
What are some things you feel like you had to go through or just experience in terms of just being yourself? Like, what allowed you to be yourself? What allowed you to be like, effort. Like, this is what I believe. This is what I do.
Just jump out.
People may talk. People may not talk. It's whatever. Like, I embody it. So it's like, I'm doing it because I generally, I enjoy it.
Right. I think for me, because I'll be honest, like I just finished like fighting depression like this year. I didn't accept I didn't accept the fact that I had it for like 3 years. Like I was fighting, like I was faking it, but I didn't realize that this just last past year I accepted it, and when I accepted it, it became the battle of like a much deeper level on the spiritual level. And then just because I had mentors and I still have them to this day, and they mentored me in life, so they guide me, and it just got to the deeper level when I just say, you know what, it's like what you said, I'm just accept myself. Like, let me see who this person is. Let me see who the next angel is, for example. Like, who's really the next Gil? Like, can you make that? Or do you have to accept whatever's coming? You don't have to accept whatever's coming. So unlocking that, it was like a whole sequence of stuff. It's like a domino effect. Like when you do one thing, it's gonna affect another thing easily, and that's just gonna be a whole domino effect. So if you know how to knock down the right domino, but it takes a lot of pride. Like you gotta have
pride is a strong thing, bro.
You gotta have pride over pride.
And pride, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like something that's like, yeah, bro. Like that pride, like sometimes. It messes your life up, bro. For real. Like just being too prideful. Sometimes you gotta be like, alright, okay. And like that's that ass, bro. Like sometimes you gonna leave me so prideful, bro. For real.
Yeah, you get back take, right?
For real.
You get back take.
Nah, like sometimes like you be like, you just gotta let it go. Like it's okay. It's whatever. Keep pushing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, bro. Like I can't fight it. That's it. Like you got it.
It should be annoying sometimes. Yeah.
Cause man, being too prideful. Yeah, man, that shit. You lose like friendships. Sometimes you lose relationships. Sometimes you lose like positions of power and all that shit.
No, let me ask you, do you care about that?
Do I care about that?
About that losses?
About those losses?
That's
a great question, bro.
Think about the lifestyle you want, bro. Yeah, 10 out of 10 life.
Oh man, I had this conversation before. Okay.
But now let me ask you something though. The people you had to cut off, are you willing to do that to get to the life you want?
Alright.
And that involves anything you want.
Nah, I hear
caring
you.
for your friends and your family too.
I hear you. I feel like I kind of had a conversation regarding this before, and like I feel like in an ideal scenario, I would divide it like 33, which is like, your family, loved ones, like your career, financials, whatever, and then like yourself. And I feel like ideally you wouldn't want them to overlap, but like in the realities of the world, it will overlap. Sometimes you have arguments, sometimes you have, like we mentioned, depression, sometimes you feel happy, sometimes shit is going good. Like there's a lot of different outcomes, so sometimes it may cause us to overlap the other, and that's why we neglect whatever we're overlapping, if that makes sense.
So like this, the aspects of life that get overlapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have to overlap them, are you gonna accept that? Because which one do you think the aspect of life should be the one?
At the end of the day, bro, how I see life, bro, is survival of the fittest, bro. Like, it sucks, bro. It sounds bad. Like, I do care about doing things for people and shit. I do care. Like, I feel like I care a lot. Sometimes I don't show it, but I care. But you also gotta think for yourself too. Like, you also gotta put yourself in the best position for yourself at all times. Because if you don't, like, what are you doing for you? Like, are you growing? Are you staying behind? Like, I'm just thinking like from a bigger point of view. Not saying that it's right or wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I feel like you go through like stages of that though. Like you go through like, you're gonna go through yourself. Like you're like, yo, it's my time to do what I gotta do for myself, right? But then like there comes a time when like I feel like you kind of gotta give back when you already get when you're up there, like either like dropping wisdom, or just doing stuff to give back. But like I feel like the already getting back, I feel like it's always there. Like you feel me? Like in there's stages of it, but like more there's something like you were saying, like there's like you want to do what's best for yourself. Like it's survival of the fittest. Like you want to come up on top always. Like that's always
man.
Yeah, and for me, like I have that competitive nature, so I always want to be up top.
That's what I'm saying. I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel
so
you.
it's just like it's tough because like sometimes like you'll be like, all right, bro, like I'm here striving to do what I gotta do, and then sometimes like you gotta just take a step back.
So now, what if it's survival of the fittest being competitive, but with a team, where you got people who got your back.
Like, what are we willing to accept that? Like, basically, in a sense.
Like for me, it's the same way survival of the fittest.
You still do,
But I care about doing it with people. Cause if I fall, like what if I fall? At least I got someone to pick me back up.
but how do you know that?
That's why you gotta find the right people.
But
And
even
keep
at the
going.
end of the day, it's survival of the fittest. So how do you know the right people? I feel like every successful person in this planet, like I would say, like the majority of them, I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong. They have done some shady shit in their life. At least one thing. For even if they done good, in, like even if they done forever, there's one thing they've done that like is fucked up, bro.
Now what if that shady?
You don't think so?
What if that shady thing, right?
My bad.
So everything is perspective. That's
Yeah,
for sure. Everything
yeah,
is perspective for
yeah.
sure. So, what do you think about the dude that does something really bad, right? But in the sense of good,
Give me an example.
like just something horrible, bro. Like think about it. Like let's say, perfect example. Yeah, there's a gunfight, right? And you shoot someone or you kill someone, right? But it's for your boy to live.
I feel like just like
It's tough to answer that, bro.
for me, like I feel like I
But-
be in that
but-
situation.
I think it depends on the event.
It depends on being in the moment. I think like we could say what we say, but in the moment we could react totally different, or we could have a game plan. Like,
I don't know.
Right.
For me, like I feel like I wouldn't find myself in that situation.
but then yeah, I'm like that too. I wouldn't put
You
my
gotta
be doing that.
because I know who I surround myself with, type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just my life, like how I am. But other people's scenarios and realities is different.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I really wanted you to say that. That's why I genuinely wanted you to say that, bro. Because now you look at it, it's like, why not win with people now?
When I what?
Why not win with people?
When we
So you see how we like. All right. So how did I meet him?
doing things through me.
Exactly. Now when I start like building my network as well, asking them about like, yo, you want to be on his podcast? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's me on you.
Yeah.
So now what if one day you're not feeling it, like you're not good, right? At least you got a whole team now backing you up. Like now you coming, you still going up.
Yeah. You need a strong foundation. Facts.
It's the power of the other person. That's why you always got to build relationships and networks. Like it doesn't matter.
Networking is always important. Like, wherever you go, you network.
But it goes deep into the powers.
But networking, I feel like develops it develops a little older because of that ego shit and pride.
Yeah, facts.
Because at first you'd be like, nah, like
Facts.
I don't like this person, or like this person is corny, or whatever the case is, right? But then sometimes it'd be like the dopest people you meet, bro, and I'd be like, wow, niggas is fake hating on the low. Like it'd be like that, like subconsciously, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit is key, bro. And you expand for yourself, because I feel like a conversation, like you learn about somebody, like there's something you always learn out of every conversation. At least one thing.
Right.
An idea, a foundation, anything, bro. Maybe you think something in a perspective or way you never thought about it before, and you'd be like, oh shit. Before I was like, nah, but I'm like, oh, that's possible, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, that eyes. I wanted to ask you, like, why do you think men are not comfortable with like having conversations with their close friends about like depression or like certain type of things?
Because you don't want to show weakness.
So do you think that's a pride thing?
I think so, for sure.
You think it's a pride thing?
Mindful about it, yeah.
Very pride thing, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's tough to have those conversations just because like you don't want to. Yeah, it's like how vulnerable do you show yourself at? You know, it's like who exactly like you were trying to be like your circle of friends, like how close are you at to be showing that weakness to somebody?
Yeah, but even as close as you are with somebody, there's still certain things you just don't
Yeah.
feel comfortable. Like there's always some type of limitation. It's just certain people got less limitations than others. I guess I would
I
say.
guess just how more comfortable you are with somebody too. Like if you cool with like being like, yo, like you're my boy, like I can talk to you about whatever. Like I guess like if you're at that point, like you can share that. Like it's just it's exactly just more like pride. Like it's just tough. It's just tough sometimes to make that decision too.
I feel like it'd be very productive too, and that there was like a platform for that. Just to talk about like life experiences, like trauma, like positive shit too. Like so for some people who struggle with like validation, like a lot of different aspects of people's life, and just have that platform where it's like therapy, but not really, you know. But it could be therapy.
But I feel like it's hard sometimes because sometimes people don't even know that they're in it. Like, you know, sometimes people don't know that. Like, man, I feel like mental health is if you're not talking to somebody, you don't know like you're going through something. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's like you're going through trauma. You're like, yo, is this shit happening to me or is it happening to everybody? Like, what is like, you stand yourself apart. Like, just see, cause like. Something with depression shit, like you don't know if someone's going through depression because people could be like talking to you different.
People mask it, bro.
Right. So like things, it's sometimes like it's hard until you don't really know until you really know. And sometimes that person that's going through it might not even know either. So it's just like it's always just hard when it's just like once you have the platform to talk about it, like sometimes they might not know, but like they through conversation they might figure that shit out. Like something that they're going through has actually like a word for it or whatever. Like something could be situational, but like should be different.
Yeah, I really think, like, it's crazy because your perspective is like I really understand it. I think my perspective was that I just didn't want to die, like I just not die like literally physically and spiritually and mentally. I just didn't think about that. What if you just let your whole life just go away?
Do you think that's common? Do you think more than an average person that's what happens? Like you just settle or like you just. It's cool. Like I'm maintaining. I'm surviving. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's one thing to be spiritual dead, and another to be like physical dead.
And how do you separate it?
You just stop. So physical, obviously, you die. Like you just die.
Yeah.
But spiritual is worse because you think about it. You're living in a zombie. Your body's a zombie, and the way you keep your spiritual side, like your spiritual life alive, is just by doing what you want to do in life. Like. Fuck what anybody says. I'm just still live life, do whatever I want to do, but in a humbling way, in a positive way, in a productive way. Like excelling in life. Basically trying to be someone better than them. As if like some people with a relationship with God. Like I got a relationship with Jesus Christ. So it's like in a way I'm always chasing him. I'm not in a religion, I got a relationship. So I feel like if more people understand that, then things could just get better. And that was the whole purpose of this whole podcast too, stuff like that. Like, yo, don't let your spiritual side die, because if you die, like, think about it, bro. Your body's living from 20 years old to 60 years old, just nothing, just dead inside. But if you're physically dead, who knows? Who knows what's after death, bro? No one knows. So the only thing you have is a spiritual life to really hold on to.
That's deep. That's crazy, just because the way you're thinking about it.
Your
perspective is like definitely different than what I was thinking, but like it's crazy because you bring that whole spiritual level more into it. It's dope. Like to me, like obviously like you were going through something and stuff like that, and like it's just definitely tough, like to talk to somebody about it, like to like get that strength to do it.
Yeah, for sure, bro, for sure.
How do you go through like depression recovery? What are some things you do to overcome it?
What do you mean?
Where do you place yourself?
Right now?
No, whenever in that moment in life for you, like what are things you do to like I guess overcome it or get past it over time, of course.
Just thinking about like the future.
Okay.
Now, so your why always changed. So mine was like just holding on to this. Like I said before, I just didn't want to die. Like spiritually, I just didn't want to die. So I was just holding on. But like the more I noticed people, like what we were talking about earlier, relationships. I like linking up with people and just building relationships and friendships all around. Like I felt myself being able to keep going. So like I feel like I'm in that phase now. In general, just like keep going, reading, listening to audios, talking to new people, hearing new perspectives. Cause I'm hearing both of y'all perspectives, and I still want to hear their perspectives. Cause it's like, bro, there's so much you can freaking learn, bro. In the world, it's crazy.
No, that's facts. What let's say when we age let's say we reach 50, right? Do you feel like we will always have our memory from like our youth, like the important moments, like maybe not every year in detail, like
nah, bro.
But you think you forget?
Depending on your lifestyle, yeah. Cause my mentor said he needs a photo. He needs to see a photo to remember that moment.
Really?
Yes. But think about if you're living life at that extent. Yeah, when someone shows, when your mom started showing your first girl, like your baby pictures, bro, she showed a one or like the whole album?
A bunch, bro, yeah.
You want a blank ass book, bro? Like,
Nah,
bro.
Yeah.
So your life is like a book, like just fill it up with mad stuff. It could be a scary book, that's trash.
Yeah, but I feel like there's certain things that, you always remember from when you're young too. Like certain things that stand out, of course, like key moments or key events.
But that's written in your book, that's why you gotta keep going.
Oh, so you gotta keep going?
Yeah, bro. Why stop, bro?
I think your phone is your yearbook now, isn't it, technically?
Yeah, what?
Your phone?
My phone?
Yeah, like with the pictures you save over the years and shit.
Nah, bro.
That's
I mean,
kinda
that's
like
cool.
a yearbook,
Yeah,
like
that
modern
keeps
version.
It. Yeah, that keeps it. But the real memories in your mind.
And that's like oh shit, and then
Yeah, bro. Think about it. How many times did you say, "I want to experience that. I want to know how that feels. I want to picture myself there. Like I wanted it, like a TV show." In a way, our lives are almost like a TV show as well. You just gotta pick what kind of TV show you want.
whatever you think when you're older, you're gonna forget.
I want to forget. No lie.
I definitely forget now.
You forget now. Coming back from intermission, guys. So we want to open up the discussion a little wider to everybody in the room, I would say. So my question would be like, do you think our world will be like before? Like after all this happens, you think the world will be like before the pandemic, or there's gonna be life-changing routines that's gonna happen from like here forward type shit and evolving as well?
Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be steps to going back to normal. Like for sure. Like I feel like the next like year or so, maybe like 2 years. Like I feel like you have to start going up. Like okay, yeah, y'all gonna have to wear masks. Like I feel like that's gonna be mandatory for like a minute.
You
And
think
then-
it will be a good chunk of time?
Yeah, I feel like until like let's say like January, like for sure that's gonna be mandatory. Until I feel like that just because like you know no one wants to like that virus is still out there. I feel so everyone's still gonna be like you know nobody wants to contract it or whatever, and then you know it's gonna just keep going until like we can not remove our mask and like that, and then there'll be probably other things that we can't.
Like
do.
large gatherings still probably won't be out till like third quarter, like fall 2021. I heard like sporting events and
right. I
concerts
heard
and
about
shit.
some concerts. Yeah, some concerts are gonna be until next year.
Like to the fall, so that's like almost a year after.
I feel like you just gotta, the way I'm looking at it, you just gotta put yourself in your own world and just make whatever's normal to you, make that normal. Like keep making it normal. So basically, while everybody's like stuck in a certain in their world, in the world, I'm gonna be stuck in my world, not giving a fuck.
How does your world look like?
Look what we doing right now, bro. This ain't social distancing. Still go out and work out. Like I'm just.
We're still under 10 people.
Okay.
But
You right? No, you right. You right.
so no, you're right, and I'm
Wait,
right too in a sense. Yeah.
So, but what about after the pandemic? Do you think they're gonna limit that only to 6
Oh,
people
yo,
at a
I heard,
time?
yeah, like restaurants, that might be clipped. Like going forward, like that industry might hold like change. Like it might be just straight pickups. Like they might even eliminate. They might even consider eliminating like dinings, bro.
But now they say
right now
many
people are
like
just
that.
like doing like dining outside. Like y'all could eat outside though. Like now there's not gonna be like enclosed.
But they gotta be like less tables like per area of course and shit.
That's fire,
It's
bro.
so fire.
Yeah, I'm just now thinking about it.
It's less people, so
Niggas
like,
are
like
fire.
maybe you don't have a chance to get in.
Nah, the way I'm looking at it is like you know when you go to the beach, like
100%
it's
go to
just
the beach.
everything's outside. You eat everything, like you get something, then you just go to the beach. I feel that would be dope, bro. Imagine food is that fast, even though that's a bad thing.
In Europe, they have a dining table that is like separated with like plastic from both sides.
That's bugged out.
So it's like at that point, what's the point of going out, bro? Like that might eliminate that human side of you. Like
I seen the picture of the gym. I think in Japan or something. Like they have like the treadmill separated.
Oh yeah, now that's
they
cool
have
though.
like a cubicle type
That's
shit?
cool though. You don't
Yeah,
want
I
people
remember
swinging
in
on you,
Japan,
bro.
but, like,
Nah.
Yeah, they have it like separated. Like you just have one treadmill to yourself. And it's just all isolated. Like no, not isolated, but like you just step into
It's covered.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm cool with that, bro. There's mad sweat flying around. Think about that.
Like that might be the new norm for a bit for gyms. Like,
Yo,
like,
facts. That
like,
shit. It might change a lot of different industries and businesses, bro. Like that's crazy. Like this really happened in our lifetime too. Like it happened in our lifetime. Like that's wild.
Yeah, but shit happens all the time. Like it's just like sometimes you can't predict this shit. Like
And it's lasted a while now. Like, and who's to say when it's gonna end? Like we don't know.
those facts.
Do y'all remember how it feels like to be living last December?
Last December. Everything is alright. Alright.
Well, we coronavirus now. Like, yeah, think about that, bro. Like, think about how you felt before the virus, bro. And think about how you feeling now.
Nah, different priorities, bro, and different things. Yeah.
But
Take little things for granted. Like going outside, going the farther distance maybe or whatever.
I'll say this much. I feel like I feel a bit more spiritual, just because I feel like I've had more time to like
Internalize yourself.
Yeah,
like self-reflect, like in a way.
not as many distractions.
You know, the fast-paced culture of the city and stuff, like, it made us slow down in a way.
Nah, that's facts. Everybody like getting places by driving is just super fast now. Like there's no traffic.
Yo,
whatsoever.
bro, it takes like 15 minutes to get from 174 University to like 42nd Street, bro. 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
That's not bad, bro.
15 minutes, bro.
On one side in the Bronx.
Yeah, bro. To 42nd, bro.
You said 142nd in the Bronx?
172nd. Wait, hold on. Wait.
You said 172nd in the Bronx for 40 seconds?
Yeah, 42nd Street.
That's fast, bro. 15 minutes, bro. Yeah, you fly, bro. This is out.
I say 20 to 25.
That sounds alright, yeah.
Late at night too, bro, because then you gotta.
Nah, let's fake traffic now. Let's fake traffic. Now traffic is picking up, bro.
Now there's traffic.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was gonna say was like everything going on and stuff. Like, how do y'all feel mentally? Like, how has this time been for y'all? Like, there's times where y'all feel lost. Is there times where you be like mad anxious? Is there times you feel like restrained because like damn, like we thought that's on lockdown or like that the city's closed. Sometimes you don't even get to see your peers. Like, this is the first time I see some of y'all like in a minute.
Facts.
Because things change, the world changed.
Facts.
You know, we gotta adapt to it. So, like, how does it feel? Like, is it overwhelming? Is it like, how do y'all take it? How's your interpretation of your mentality throughout this process?
I feel like for myself, like it's just like you see how well you adjust to something because like things become like a norm. Like, during this whole quarantine, like sometimes we forget like we can't be going outside on the regular like as like feel that we can like how it used to be. Or we can't have to like we have to social distance to wear a mask now when we go out or something like that. You let bring a mask with you. Like it's become such a norm that sometimes you forget what's really going on. Like you're like, oh shit, like actually we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Like that shit's crazy.
Facts, bro.
And especially everything else going on. Like sometimes it's just like you don't even know. Like because it becomes such a norm. Like you have to like just take a step back and be like, yo, like this shit's really happening right now. Like we're in the middle of this shit. Like it's tough for sure.
Yeah, you can hear them, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Nah, I had to make sure.
Nah, yeah.
Nah, that's fact. Yo, that's a big fact. But honestly, I agree, bro, with him because it's like this is the best year of my life because I learned how to be with me.
You say this is the best year of your life?
Yeah, bro. Not because of the whole everything going negative, just
personally.
Yeah, like everything that happened gave me an opportunity to grow myself within myself, spiritually and mentally. And then once this whole pandemic is over, it's over. I'm just bug out, like it's over, bro. Think about that. Like if you can make it through this shit and still grow, bro, imagine when life gets to normal. That's why I'm just mad hype.
Well, I feel like that goes back to like what you were saying earlier. Like you was like you think things will be back to normal. Like
it could be a new normal.
Right. Like people just adjusting to like how things are. You know, is that ever gonna be that normal? But like I feel like it's tough to decide because you don't even know what's ahead of us.
Yeah, you could say that. If you had to choose between going forward 10 years or back 10 years, what would you choose as of right now? If you had an option, and why? Can you return to your time? Yeah, but only once. So you could visit and come back here.
I'd probably go forward 10 years.
You go forward 10 years?
Yeah.
Why?
Just like everything I've done just has made me who I am. So it's like I'm not like upset at like where I'm at in life. Like I'm grateful for the journey. So I just want to see like where this journey continues to.
Okay, question before I ask you. So what if you go forward and you acknowledge yourself, like where you're at, placed in life at that particular moment, and then you go back to your time and change it? You think it will change it? Like, what if it's something you feel like, damn, it could be more or it could be less or whatever.
So if I went to the future and I came back and like I saw where I was at, would I do stuff to change where my future was?
Your future and your present time.
Yeah, probably.
So then that'll be a new future, a new reality.
Right. But then at least I would like for me, I guess.
At least you know what happened already.
It's because I'm the kind of person that kind of just like. I guess like now, because if I go back and just shape how I am, I like to me like I'm proud of where I'm at now. So like there's no reason for me to go back. I feel like let me just keep moving forward. So if I can go forward, and then I'd be like now that I'm living in the moment, like what like I guess it's like kind of like contradicting myself because I guess like I'm doing both in the same way, but like since I already know what I'm at, I guess because of the being that I'm in, I feel.
Yeah.
It's like if the future me doesn't know what the past me would, you know. I feel like I'm thinking about that sense, but I might be just confusing myself.
How do you feel about your future and your past? Would you go forward 10 or back 10?
Nah, this one, yo, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Yo, I'm gonna really get in my feelings, bro. Cause
Get
you
in
made
your
me, yo,
feelings.
you hit money though, cause it made me realize too about myself, and I don't mind like sharing this with people because if they can use this as a something to latch onto to grow themselves, by all means, use me. Like if you need me, as long as you win it, I don't care. But I realized that my first decision would be to go back in time because of all the stuff I know now, I could teach myself back then. So my future could turn out different. But I realized that's what was holding me back because I kept thinking about going in the past and thinking about the past compared to thinking about the future, like what he said. And using that in the sense of what did I learn at that time or could speed it up. Like, yo, this is what my future looks like. I don't like that. Let me go change it. Let me come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Reading
that,
your new reality.
Right.
Your new present, your new future. Yeah.
So I think I would go to the future in a sense, just so I could forget about the past, like he said.
So if you had to choose one, you pick in the future?
Yeah, and I'm not going back.
Or you stay there.
I'll stay there.
But what if you see yourself, your present self in that future?
Because I don't want to go back in reality in time, right? And go back to my old self for just relying on the past.
But can't you just be like hopeful for like what the future is, unless like that's the future you don't want to have?
Just rearrange it. Just change it. Because then if I go in the future, right, and that becomes a present me at the moment, and I realize like, all right, cool, this is stuff I could take back and learn. Then I gotta come back in time. And if I let my mind slip, I might stay in that phase again where I'm just looking back instead of forward.
That's a different perspective. Not gonna lie.
But not yeah. Not like it's like
Because
it's
you would encounter your future self with your current self that traveled.
right. It's
Right.
like so I travel in time, but I don't want to keep coming back in time.
But do you think do you think that'll be productive for your future self for you to meet him or yeah?
I just won't go back in time. That's why I'll stay in the future.
But that could be a negative like reaction having two of you and stuff.
But how? Because I'll be living in the present. I won't go back. I
No,
won't
you
go back.
stay in that future with
Yeah.
the future self of you at that age.
Yo, you're bugging out right now, bro. Listen, bro.
If you travel,
bro.
but listen,
Nah, I know
if you
think
travel,
there's gonna be two
if you
people.
travel to another
That's what he's trying to
timeline,
say,
right?
bro.
There's gonna be another version of you in that timeline. That's what I'm talking about.
But-
So you're gonna encounter your timeline from that you traveled.
So, you bugged out, bro. Because your question was, would you travel to the future or the past? You just specified
Exactly, and
how
I'm
my future
saying
would
I'm
be.
breaking down what you're saying now. I'm hearing you. You said you will go forward, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm saying is, if you go forward, would you be able to accept that you might not you shouldn't run into your current self in that future? Like not you, like the other version of you in that future.
Yeah,
'Cause-
that's some Flash shit.
'cause
bro.
they say-
That's what in the Flash.
Like Back to the
That really-
Future.
Right.
You see how
can't see
the
themselves.
Emmett Brown tells Marty, yo, don't run into your future self.
If I'm my past, I wouldn't run into my future self. But if I'm my future, I wouldn't run. I would try out of love to run back to the past angel.
The shit got deep, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, without facts.
Another thing, would you say are you future ready? Any of y'all? Like future ready in the sense of are like accepting of what's to come and y'all will try your best to evolve, adapt, improvise, or would y'all say y'all don't like change, like rapid change? Because I feel like over the last 15 years, like the technology has moved pretty rapid, like more faster than anything in history. I feel in terms of what's the next thing, in my opinion. I think.
You think 5G caused coronavirus?
Uh huh.
You think 5G caused coronavirus?
Hey, you wanna talk conspiracy talk? Nah, bro. Let's talk about. I should get shit down, bro. There's certain things you can't talk about, bro. But if you do have a conspiracy, support it, man. You just do your thing. We could talk about it on the side, but I'm gonna share it here. But
I think with me, like to answer that question, I personally think I am, and I tie it back to the previous question. I don't think I could ever answer a question like that because I feel like to go forward in time would be like to
Like cheat yourself.
lose a chunk of your soul.
Did you go forward?
It goes back to what you were saying earlier about memories. Memories is really what like.
That's how I would go back because I feel like even if I go forward, I have to go back because I want to live it as well.
Now, question.
How you gonna back?
It could be a time loop.
If you stay in your forward, you're missing those gap years.
Keep going
So,
back.
just going back to the question, because you can answer it now. Your question to me, low key, was like kind of like fucked up, bro. Like, yo,
What? Which one?
why would it? I thought you was asking, yo, would you go into your future self, not meet your future self?
I think.
You get it? Like,
I thought that's what I meant. Alright,
I'm
so-
not trying to do
so-
no flash shit, bro. Like,
No, I'm not talking about. It has nothing to do with Flash, bro.
Bro, you talking about me meeting my future self?
If you go, I'm just saying based on science, like if you go to the future, you're not gonna
Talk
just
about
teleport.
science.
You're not gonna just teleport. Okay, you're not gonna just teleport like from one place to another. Like you have to obviously encounter like the self of that time. Same if you go to the past.
Alright, but what if that wasn't the concept? What if it's
What's the
like,
concept? You just teleport.
you just go fast forward in the future?
So I agree with what he's saying. Then I feel like you kind of lose a part of your soul because like you're not gonna know those memories, even though like it'll probably be programmed in your mind, but like you didn't live it. So it's like part of what makes us human is living through things, don't you think?
Experience.
Yeah, that's a fact for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you.
That was money, bro. That was money.
But yeah, to wrap it up real quick, before we wrap it up, I want to discuss too and address like what's going on in the world right now. Like a lot of, tough things. Like people have died. A lot of protests right now. Police brutality. The same thing keeps repeating in history. Like, do you guys have an opinion? You guys do want to share or discuss like in regards to that?
I think it's just definitely tough what's going on right now. Like I feel like for us, all standing here together, like, we have a voice to talk about. Like, and I feel like that's a big thing about the podcast. It's just like we have a voice to speak about what's going on.
That's
we
true.
Have a platform to speak about.
And speak the uncomfortable too.
Right, and it's just like people don't have that. Like people, right? That's what people are fighting for, to have that. Equality, having something to say of what's going on. Like, and things that are happening right now it's crazy. Like, bro, it shouldn't be happening. Everyone has their own struggles and shit like that. And it's just like,
That's a fact. Everybody does have their own struggle.
man, it's just unfair what's happening to everybody.
Yeah, definitely. It sucks. Like there has to be a change somewhere. Like there's too much negatives and not enough like love going around. It's like I go back to that thing, yo. You gotta love one another.
But it's crazy though, because if you go back all the way to the root of it, like that has no explanation or reason as to why there's like so much like hate and segregation, like
Oh, yeah,
like in terms of like you're not valid, like why? Like you have no reason why to dislike somebody. Like I could say like yo, like when it comes to disliking somebody, it should be based on their character, how they move, maybe the energy between you. I feel like that's fair.
Right.
That's fair. It's how somebody reacts, how somebody moves. But based on like appearance, that's messed up, man.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Bro. Oh my gosh, bro, 100%. But it makes you think now. Like this is not to get like too down deep into it, but what makes you think what we were talking about history is right now?
What you mean? What is it?
Why? How do we know that history is history, bro? Like the stuff that we don't have document of.
That's a lot of documents, though, bro.
But even before that, bro.
And
it's like,
before that was like hieroglyphics and shit like that. That's before documents, like on the walls and shit. Like that's how people.
But how do you know all that is real?
How do you know? There's people that did the research and traveled to those places and shit, bro.
Who do you think did that though?
Historians, people that's
Yeah, but
You think it was man made rather than like authentic?
But what kind of people though? Like you saying there's a war going on, right? Back then you don't know why it's happening. But that's how it started, bro. Like it was just like
People feel entitled, bro. I really think that's what happened, bro.
So you're
But
trying to say
now-
like how
how do we
how
know-
people would say what's going on right now?
how do we know George Washington was really the first president? How do we know he was really
The
right?
people that documented said that he was the first president,
Okay,
according to what they said. Not saying
So
that's
how do
true.
we believe that now in the time we're in right now, the struggles we're going in? So how do we believe that?
Word of mouth, bro. That has a really strong impact, bro. Believe and
But notice how
and the divide between education levels as well too. Because think about it, like education is wealth in a sense too. But not, you don't have to have a deep education to be successful. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to have education in whatever it is that you're pursuing or want to do. It doesn't have to be structured like in a school academic system. I'm saying whatever you want to pursue, your talent or your skill set.
Right.
You have to know. You have to know or be interested to know what you want to do and how to make it work and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
now you see that.
Right.
That's how you're supposed to live. But someone back then, we don't know when, they stopped that because they wanted to control minds.
you know why, bro? Because back then, bro, not everybody had the opportunity or the privilege of having an education, which is like learning how to read, write, and stuff. So at a certain point, like you're not literate. So it's like if you have one person that could master that skill, which is read, write, and stuff like that, and interpret it, he could tell a story.
Yep.
And you could bend the rules because how you gonna counter what he's saying? You can't research it because you don't know how to read or write. How you gonna message? So you're gonna just go based on what you hear, your ears, and then you start believing it. Once you start believing it, you pass that knowledge. But that's if you believe it. Or you could not believe it, but you have to have a reason as to not believe it, like internally accept it. Like why not? You know. So it goes both ways.
To have that curiosity, to like want to question like what's going on. I guess.
Yeah, this shit, bro, that I think about, bro, that I don't agree with, or I don't think I'll change my mind about, but I wonder, like I question what would be different or why it happens or why people think that, even if I don't agree with it. To understand other people's gives me understanding of myself. That's how I see it.
I guess that goes like not comparing yourself to like others' mentality, but just like being open to like hearing, I guess, people's point of view.
Yeah, bro, I feel like everybody got something to say, bro. Just sometimes niggas be saying some cap shit. Rapper cap. But, you know, some people be saying shit, bro. And then it's like I mentioned, every conversation you have, you can always take something from that moment, like that you could learn. And as the more we learn, there's still room that we can learn more and more and more and more. There's no cap to that. There's no limit to that. It's infinite. It's just a mental will state of mind, like how much you want to pursue to it and whatnot.
So what's the secret to living life against the government?
The secret to living life against the government?
You just said it, bro. Your mind, bro. That's I don't want to talk too deep into it, but the way I think about it, in the past, someone wanted to control people, so you control their minds, and like I feel like what's going on is sad, bro. Is because like we need to get hold of our minds. Like that's the real thing. That's why I said, how do you know everything in the past is really real when there's someone trying to control?
Because there's people that have lived it. There's some things are capped, but some things are real. Some people lived it, so they experienced it.
So now the enemy, you think they're gonna show our history? You think they're gonna like?
Nah, it's always their version, bro.
Exactly. That's why you gotta get control of your mind. So
But at the end of the day, what is the control of the mind gonna do for that purpose? You can't change that. You could change yourself, but you can't change that.
Exactly. So don't we want change?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
So you change the
us
person.
changing ourselves, how's that gonna change them?
Right.
Or that?
If you can control
It's not-
yourself,
You can control yourself.
It's not about
You could-
changing them.
Huh?
It's not about changing them. It's about beating them.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, how can you beat them if you don't change? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You change yourself and you beat them.
Yeah,
It's
but
like playing
think
baseball.
But think about what's happening now. Like they're saying that if we change ourselves, like that's their way of like beating that. Doesn't I don't feel like. I feel like the thing that we are fighting for is not about like, you know, us changing ourselves, but like just changing like what's happening like out there, like why, like they're the ones that are doing like.
The fuck shit. The
yeah,
fuck
for
shit.
sure.
Exactly.
But
So
what
it's
I'm
just, like,
saying
we can't
is,
control like what they're doing. Like we can control what we do. You
y'all
know?
niggas gonna make me go mad freaking deep into
Nah,
this
go ahead,
shit
bro.
now.
Talk your shit.
So the way I look at it, there's a couple of books I read. Open Base on America, Eyes to My Soul, 1984, Animal Farm, and it just shows how the government try to control our minds. Because if you think about it, in my opinion, we're fighting the decoys and the lab rats because the government tells them what to do. And then you put us in against fight like that. Look what happened with coronavirus. All of a sudden it's gone. Like
It's
this.
not gone.
It's not gone though.
But does it feel like it?
It's not that it feels like it. I think it's
I
like becoming
feel
more
like it.
normalized. Like in terms of progress.
All right, so that's how.
Yeah, like us adjusting to how.
It's adjusting. Like people are getting maybe more immune or more this or more that.
But look,
Maybe.
so why is there always a certain problem? Why is there always a problem against our people? Because the government is trying to control our minds. So they use the cops as lab rats and control their minds to go against us. Because at the end of the day, we can fight cops all we want. They can't change the bill. They can't put another bill in. They can't put a new law in. The government does.
Yeah, but they part of the government.
Yeah.
That's how you. That's how you
They're
start.
controlled by the government.
But at the end of the day, it starts from the bottom. That's they in the bottom. They just
But doesn't
above
it start at the
a
top,
casual
though?
citizen. Huh?
Doesn't everything always start at the top?
Not necessarily, bro. Yes and no.
Like it's not saying like, you know, like everyone is this, like this is like what they're built off of, but like not every cop. To me, like I'm saying,
Nah,
every
yeah,
cop
for
is the
sure.
same.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, there is a specific type of people that have with the mentality of like this is what they're about, like, and they have this mentality of like against the people of color. So it's just like I'm trying, like I guess one thing is like we can't say so much about ourselves, about our changing ourselves, but the thing is like it's not even about us anymore. Like it's about them. Like about their, like not even saying like them as like a collective. It's just more like
Right.
the people that have been doing
So,
this.
because the way,
Like,
so I had a way different perspective. I had a perspective of us winning and them losing.
How so?
You see how they were controlling us for so many years with slavery and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Because even my ancestors, Puerto Ricans, go back to I forgot what's the name of it. It's like it's Indians. It's Indians. Huh? Yeah, I believe so. And then we go back to Africa. So in a sense, like we're all feeling the same thing. But I've thought, like in my opinion, if we better ourselves, no one can control our minds. The government is all out here to control their people's minds. That's all it is.
But that's what I'm saying. If you focus on changing yourself, how is that gonna still
government
change the
can't touch
outcome
you,
of how
bro.
the reality is? That's what I'm. That might not still change anything.
Because if you have control of your mind, you can make whatever lifestyle you want.
That's not true, bro.
because like look, everyone that think about
Yeah,
everyone that's
bro.
just gotten like, you know, kind of like killed in the sense like everyone that's died was being themselves.
Yeah.
So what?
So just
Exactly, bro.
But what I'm saying is the reason why I said no is not because
You get it, right?
No, like I'm trying to understand like your point, because like I feel like you keep coming back to like you working on yourself, and it's like yeah, we could do as much.
We
as
should
can
work on
ourselves.
ourselves,
Yeah.
facts.
But wait, are you trying to help the enemy? Is that
Why
what
would-
you're saying?
no, I
You're
don't
trying
wanna
to change
help
the
the enemy.
enemy's mind?
But you have to. If you want to make that change, you have to eventually. That's what has to happen, bro.
So you believe we can change their minds?
You could always influence somebody's mind, bro. It just
I
depends
definitely
how you
agree
go
with
about
that.
that. Yeah.
I agree with that.
You could change somebody's perspective depending how you convince them, depending how, factual things are or how authentic things are.
So how do you think we get over this battle? Like, how do you think we solve this and finish it and put things the way they're supposed to be with all love? Because that's the way the topic of conversation.
I feel like damn.
Is it like a balance of both? Peace and
And
Peace
physicality
and
or whatever
war.
and aggression.
peace.
I
And
feel
war?
like peace, man. Ideally, you want peace because, like my human side is like you don't want niggas to die. You don't want people to die, bro.
Right.
That's fucked up, bro. Like my human side, like that's niggas shouldn't die like that. Like unless it's like natural causes or whatever.
Right.
But my opinion, like I feel like people like it's time, bro. It's time. I feel like
I agree with
people
that,
have
for
dealt with
sure.
oppression so long. Like maybe some people it's personal, so some people it's generational. But oppression is oppression. You know what I'm saying? And like terminologies evolves and stuff, but it happens, bro. It still happens. Discrimination, all that happens, bro. That doesn't change. And you say that you could change yourself and maybe it'll spread to good or whatever. Like I understand, bro, but it's like you can only do so much within the limitations of your life and the history of your life. Like at the end of the day, there's people that choose our destiny at the end of the day, and there's above us, bro. There's nothing we can do.
And it's just so because like at the end of the day, like we are always like being ourselves, like we're always trying to be like, and how much like does that go into like an effect anymore? Because like it's like you're being yourself, and it just happens. Like I bet this is what I'm gonna try to do, work on myself, live a different lifestyle, and then it's just like nah, I'm gonna keep happening. It's just like when is like
Yeah.
that gonna be? When are you gonna end the chain of that continuously happening?
Think about people. There's people in this life that live in inner communities, but they the best person in that neighborhood. They always trying to do something good, and they always get caught up in some BS, bro. And they did ask, now I have a record out of being a good person. So at that point, you'd be like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and
So
then you
it's-
become bad. So it sometimes it's the system itself letting people to fail, bro, or the things that is above us that puts us in placements. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think we could control the government? Like, do you think we could take it over the government?
Bro, the only
Because
way
that's
that
what
can
I
happen.
want, bro, to be
Alright,
honest.
so for that to happen,
I
I'm
wanna make
gonna give you.
sure-
I'm gonna tell you that what has to happen. Not saying that I vouch for this, but this is what has to happen. For that to happen, for what you're saying to happen, like it's gonna have to be like a crazy ass civil war, and like certain people gotta be, you know, eliminated. Let's just put that word, but
keep up the good.
And it'll have to be like everybody in the same type of time. It can't be like, oh, we have these niggas that's gonna do it, and then it's like you're not gonna have these people that's gonna be like, yeah, we faking it, but we not in it. Like everybody gotta be for the cause. Everybody gotta be for the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, bro. But it's tough, and it's because there's a lot of fear instilled in us, like subconsciously, bro, from time and time and time. Certain things you can't do. Certain things you gotta watch your back. It's tough, bro. It's tough.
That's what's up.
But yeah, man, just to wrap it up, I feel like this is a very in-depth conversation.
We should keep this behind the scenes, bro. This is feel top secret.
Nah, niggas gotta do it for the culture, for the pod industry, you feel me? For the movement. And to be the voice.
Of course.
Yeah, be the voice.
It's a platform for everyone to speak out their mind.
Right.
But if someone could come up on here, it doesn't matter who it is, just to speak their voice.
Yeah, we will.
Especially about all the chaos going on.
There's a lot of things that has to be discussed, a lot of conversations that, you know, I'm trying to push the culture that, you know, we could always have a conversation and nothing wrong could come out of that, you know what I mean? Like, we all learn something. I could have came in today with this in mind and come out with a different mindset and whatnot. But I want to thank everybody participating in this, my guest, Angel. We have Anthony over here as well. Behind the scenes, we got Chris, Warner. We got O, we got Jeff.
Good night, man. Appreciate you
Thank
having
you guys for making this
That
happen.
was dope. Episode 1. I think, right?
27, bro.
27?
27, bro.
What about this level, though?
At this level, level 1,
okay,
one
so
of one.
There we go. We start there, bro.
We fucking with this. We fucking
Like,
with
we
this.
next level over here, bro.
See you next time, man. It's gonna be on multiple platforms like SoundCloud, YouTube. See you guys soon. You know.